Hare
Pranam Mataji.
Dandot Pranam Mathaji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please start with the opening prayers.
Shall I do, Mathaji?
Mataji, yesterday Rema Mataji wanted to do. Has she joined?
Yes, I am there. Shall I do?
Yeah, do. Mataji, tomorrow you do, Usha Mataji, please.
Yes, Mathaji. Thank you.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahakana Jagunadam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhudam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vitha Sri Vishaka Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Daya Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namo Nama Namostude Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpada Rupascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna He Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Today we will be seeing the third chapter, third verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Yes, please read the verse. First, I think once again.
Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Samkhyayam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Hare Krishna.
Sankhyanam Mataji. Yeah, Jigisha Mataji. Yeah, Jigisha Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam.
Raghavan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shri Bhagavana Vacha Logesmin Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha. 1 minute. Lokesmin Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam.
Sri Vidya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Hare Krishna.
Lakshmi Mataji. Lakshmi Mataji. Okay. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Read Mataji.
Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Loke Asmin Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Maya Naga Yana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. Next. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, read.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Dvivida Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Thank
Yeah.
you,
So this
Mataji.
last person, Radha Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah, Radha Datta Mataji. Yes.
Hari Om.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Ye Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. We'll see the word-to-word meaning. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Loke, in the world, Asmin, this, Dvividha, two kinds of Nishtha, faith, Pura, formerly, Prokta, where said, Maya, by me, Anagha, O sinless one, Jnana Yogena, by the linking process of knowledge, Sankhyanam, of the empiric philosophers, Karma Yogena, by the linking process of devotion, Yoginam, of the devotees. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, somebody please read the translation. Suddenly there is a power cut. Yeah. Somebody can read the translation. I will read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I?
Okay, read Prabhuji.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that these are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation and others by devotional service. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, whoever wanted to read can read the purport. I'm just waiting for the power to come back. Yes.
Shall I do, Mataji?
Yeah, Jigisha Mataji, you can read half and then Usha Mataji can read half. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explained two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as it is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained also in the 39th verse that by working by the principles of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of actions. And furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in the 61st verse, that this Buddhi Yoga is to depend on the Supreme, or more specifically on Krishna. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are independent as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanatism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the superself. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness, and the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the sense of a philosophical process by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mathaji. Yes, I got back the power. Yeah. So, in yesterday's verse, we saw Arjun telling Krishna, or rather asking Krishna, that by your instructions or by whatever you spoke in the previous chapter, you have introduced or you have told or spoken about so many yogic methods, I am completely bewildered. Now you tell me decisively which is one path which is actually the beneficial to me. And then Supreme Lord Krishna started addressing or trying to explain in detail about the various processes. O sinless Arjun, I have already explained that there are two classes of men. Now, if you go back to the second chapter, 39th verse, second chapter, 39th verse, what is said here? That I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study, Sankhya Yoga. Krishna has explained the difference between body and soul, matter and spirit. And now Krishna is saying, I am going to explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. So working, doing your karma without being attached to the results. And then he says, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So now Krishna says, there are two kinds of procedures. One is inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation. That means Jnana Marg or, Sankhya Yoga. And then otherwise, some are inclined to understand by empirical and others by devotional service or through action or Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. So, Prabhupada directly translates acting without any attachment to results or Nishkama Karma Yoga. He converts or, he says it is Bhakti Yoga. That means you act only for Krishna. And we have discussed it before why Prabhupada does this. Actually, Krishna at this moment is not speaking about Bhakti completely. He's not speaking about Bhakti. He has just introduced it. If you see in the word-to-word meaning, Karma Yogena, by the linking process, see, you are acting without any attachment to the results. But Prabhupada has translated that into devotion. So it is because Prabhupada has given the conclusion of Gita in every purport. Actually, some of the Mayavadi preachers and so-called people who had the knowledge have Gita, they asked Prabhupada. In this particular verse, Krishna hasn't spoken about bhakti. He has introduced. He has given introduction to bhakti. Even in the second chapter, Prabhupada speaks about buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga, linking oneself with the Lord, matparaha. One who is only linked to me will become stable and steady. But why do you translate it as linking process of devotion? So Prabhupada says that people in Kali Yuga don't have time. They are not able to sit and read the entire book, or they cannot focus attentively for a long time. So that's why whichever page they open in Bhagavad Gita, I have given in the purpose the entire conclusion of Gita. So that whichever verse you take, you will know the conclusion of Gita is doing bhakti to Krishna. And that is why Prabhupada has translated Karma Yoga, that is acting with complete detachment from result, as Bhakti Yoga. That means you act for Krishna. So first class is through the Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga, other is Karma Yoga. Now, Sankhya Yoga, we know what it is. It is about the nature of matter and spirit. And people who are interested in this kind of jnana or knowledge or experimental knowledge in philosophy, they will be inclined towards this. And the other class of people will be acting or they will work. And Prabhupada says working in Krishna consciousness. And that, he says, he is explained in 61st verse of the second chapter. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control and fixes his consciousness upon me, matparaha. He is known as a man of steady intelligence. So here there was this introduction of bhakti or buddhi yoga, where you depend entirely on Krishna, you focus only on Krishna. And then easily the senses can be brought under control. Now, 1 second, Mata. Yeah. So here, now Arjun thought that this Jnana Yoga and this Nishkama Karma Yoga are two different paths. So if you select one or if you choose one, then you will not do the other. It is not like that. It is actually gradual elevation. So that's why Prabhupada writes, both the yogas are interdependent. It's not that if you choose Jnana Yoga, then you are not doing Karma Yoga. When even if you are in the Jnana Yoga, you will act, but you will act with Jnana. Even when you are doing Karma Yoga, you are also acting with Jnana because you are detaching yourself from the fruitive activities or the results. So both are not completely isolated from one another. They both are dependent. Because Prabhupada writes, as religion and philosophy, there one is the religion, one is the philosophy. Jnana Marg is the philosophy. And action or doing bhakti is the religion, dharma of a soul. What is the occupational duty or dharma of a soul? Serving the Lord. So Prabhupada further explains, religion without philosophy is sentiment. How many of you agree to this? Religion without philosophy is sentiment. Yes, any examples? Anybody?
Today,
Yes.
many sons are becoming preachers without any parampara. So maybe
Yes.
that is the example.
Yeah. They are preaching something, some philosophical things, but they don't have a proper base from the scriptures, or it's not coming in a proper parampara of the from where this philosophy has come. And then it is like, they are preaching and some people are following, that's fine, but it becomes only a sentiment. It's just a sentimental act. Or sometimes fanaticism also. There are various religions where, some strict rules are followed and some new things they have actually included in it, which may not have scriptural backing. So it's not based on sound philosophy. For us, Bhagavad Gita has come from the Supreme Lord. And it has come in the disciplic succession. So whatever philosophy or religion we are practicing is completely authorized. Otherwise, it's just sentimentalism. And while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So if you are just having this theoretical knowledge, you are going, discussing about so many concepts and theories, but no religion. Religion means you're not having any rules and regulations and activities or austerities, then it is just a mental speculation. Mentally, you're sitting and speculating, this is that is supreme, this is universe, this happens like this. No. So both are important. Religion and philosophy both go together. Because the ultimate goal of, if you see even Jnana Marg or if you see Karma Marg, Nishkama Karma Yoga, is to attain perfection. So then who can take up Jnana Marg? Who can take up Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Bhakti Marg? Depends on the qualification of that particular soul. If one is still not developed control over the senses or is still not purified, is still not able to, practice this spiritual practices the way the Jnana Margis do, he can do Nishkama Karma Yoga. But who is little elevated, he has gained this knowledge and he knows how to act. After gaining this knowledge, they can follow Jnana Marga. See, we spoke about something called faith, Shraddha. Shraddha is something, the very basis for any person to understand the philosophy or to practice a religion. Faith is a must. But if one is just doing activities without having actual knowledge, then he will not develop that deep or intense faith. It will become like a superficial ritualistic activity. For development of deep faith, also knowledge is required. When you are equipped with knowledge, higher and higher knowledge, your faith will also deepen and deepen. And when faith becomes deep, your activities, your spiritual practices will improve more and more. So, see, we, like example, right from our childhood, we have been taught every morning, go pray to the God that they should be good, or I should pass in my exam, or something like that. And during festivals or birthdays or important occasions or weekly ones, we go to the temple, take one archana ticket, do the archana, break the coconut, sit in the temple for 2 minutes because we have been asked to, and then come back and get back to our routine life. This is part of our religion, no doubt about it. But only doing this, just going to the temple, doing whatever is required there and coming back, will it increase and deepen our faith to surrender to the Lord? Or do you need some knowledge also? Philosophical knowledge also.
Yes, Mata, we need knowledge.
So we need the philosophical knowledge, which is coming through scripture. Only then we will be able to understand our purpose of this human birth and what are we supposed to do in this human form, how are we supposed to practice our spirituality, how are we supposed to progress in it. For that, at every stage, you need knowledge and higher knowledge. Once you have attained a certain stage in the knowledge, then what happens? You will be practicing, but you cannot be there on that level. It will be a stagnation. Then you have to acquire a higher knowledge and then practice the other, whatever principles of sadhana. And that way you will be elevated gradually in the spiritual path. So Prabhupada writes, the ultimate goal is Krishna because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna. Even the Jnanamargis, whoever is following the Jnanamarg, when they include the element of bhakti, ultimately they will come to Krishna. And then the knowledge, the first and the fundamental knowledge is to understand what is our position and what is our relationship with the Supreme Absolute Truth. So there is this indirect process, that is philosophical speculation and understanding scriptures, reading Vedas, reading Puranas, reading all this. And then there is this direct connection through Nishkama Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, when you directly connect to Krishna. So of these two paths, of course, Prabhupada has given the conclusion, which Krishna will later give, that the path of, it does not depend on purifying the senses by philosophical process. See, bhakti is something which is not dependent on jnana or anything else. You start doing bhakti, it will purify and automatically the jiva will also gain some knowledge. But that is bhakti marg. But nishkama karma marg, you have to do your duties without any attachment and then practice, do our sadhana through knowledge. Then only the elevation will take place. So one should not give up or falsely renounce if you are not qualified to renounce. Instead, one can simply do Nishkama Karma Yoga and then gradually develop detachment from everything, develop sense control and then renounce. So whoever is qualified for Jnanamarg because they have developed a certain sense of renunciation, they can follow Jnanamarg. Others, they can follow Nishkama Karma Yoga. So it's nothing like this path or that path. Both at the same, at some point they are interdependent. But the inclination of the soul, the qualification of the soul will determine which path is suitable. Is this clear to everybody?
Yes, Mathaji. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mata.
Yeah. Anybody has any doubt?
No, Mata.
Yeah. So how do we practically implement this works?
By doing Nishkam Karma Yoga.
Yes. Why not Jnana Yoga?
Because that is little, as Bhagavan is saying, it's difficult. And
Yes.
this is an easy path to go.
Yeah. It depends on the nature of our soul. The inclination. Each person knows their inclination. That is called their natural swabhava or temperament. If somebody is inclined or is capable to analyze, to reflect, to realize, then they may take up this jnana marg, study, analytical study they can do, they can meditate and things like that. But if one is busy in the daily work, and of course for grahasthas, very, very difficult to sit and read scriptures and then meditate, no. So for grahasthas, the best practice is to do your duty without any attachment. And also, see, whatever the sannyasis can do or brahmacharis can do, the people of the other varnas cannot do, grahasthas cannot do. So one has to be in whichever position they are, and then choose the path which is suitable, so that gradually the purification will happen and progress will happen. Is this clear?
Yes, Mathaji.
Yes, Mathaji.
Hare Krishna, Mathaji. Doubt.
Yes, Mathaji.
It is everywhere we need some knowledge, isn't it, Brahma, Mathaji? We are getting through Paramra system also, it's a knowledge. Without knowledge,
Yes.
By doing service alone, it's very difficult to get convinced, no, Mathaji. So what we are learning is also comes under jnana.
Yes. That is what, no? Because that's what Prabhupada said, no? They are interdependent. Religion and philosophy. Yes. So you are practicing religion, but you need the philosophy also. So jnana is also equally important. That's why I said, no, when your jnana increases, your faith will deepen. You know, when you're getting higher knowledge, then you will strive to progress to that level so that you will get higher experiences. So that is important, Mathaji. Jnana is important.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
But pure jnana marg, only sitting and speculating and not following religion is wrong. Like, you know, you don't do any spiritual practices. Which is your sadhana bhakti you are not doing, but only reading scriptures, only analyzing, having discussions will not help. It will not help you progress. Both have to be done together, Mathaji.
Yes, Mathaji. Understood. Thank you.
Yes. See, there is something called Gita Parayan. The merits of Gita Parayanam or Gita Mahatmyam has spoken about merit of reading each and every chapter of Gita. If you recite the verses of Gita, you know, you get this benefit, that benefit. But Prabhupada says definitely there is purification happening when you read the verses of Gita. But if you read, understand a single verse of Bhagavad Gita and implement in your life, you will progress much faster than just reciting the verses. So jnana, when you start applying, your progress will be much faster in the spiritual path. Yes.
Yes, Mathaji. Thank you.
श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च
वैष्णवेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।